Just get down the tunnel. Cut that. I don't get it.
There once was a thing called Super League. It's 15 teams and it's all about greed. Papa Wings warned us all some years ago, and now it's all kicking off.
Just get down the tunnel.
Oh, when the Super League comes, Ronnie and Messi's World Cup dreams are done. Oh, when the Super League comes, how can it be called the Super League if Bayern didn't agree to join it? Is it just me, or is this the craziest 24 hours in world football history? You want to know what it's about? And it's actually hilarious. It's actually so hilarious that I have this little piece of paper laying on my desk right now. It actually is kind of tripping me out. It's a £5 note. It's one of those £5 notes that you can't tear. As much as you want to try and tear the £5 note, it's unterrible. First off, I'm not even football related. How did they do this? How did they create, literally, it looks brand new still. Maybe this is my thumbnail. What's happening, boys, and welcome to the craziest 24 hours in football history, aka the hashtag Say No to the Super League episodia. Apologies for no videos over the course of the past couple days. Been a little bit exhausted, and we streamed a lot, and to be honest with you, the content on Saturday and Sunday just really wasn't that crazy in terms of FIFA. But last night, one of the craziest announcements came out, and it was something that I think everyone kind of knew was maybe going to come at some point, but it came to fruition last night, the formation of the Super League. There's still a whole lot of moving pieces to this whole story, so I'm kind of just rolling with it, and I'm just going to give my initial thoughts and my initial reactions on the Super League. But for those of you guys that have been living under a rock, you might not know that this Super League, if you want to call it that, was formed last night. That consists of Arsenal, Chelsea, Milan, Liverpool, Piemonte Calcio, Manchester City, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Tottenham, Spurs, Manchester United, Inter, and Real Madrid. So those are the clubs right now. It's meant to be a total of 20 teams, and it basically is a direct competitor to Champions League and Europa League. And the first thing that I thought of when they announced the Super League, and the first thing that you think about when you're like, okay, so why are they doing this? Like, why is the Super League being formed? Like, what's the point of pushing the Super League on people when we already have, literally, there's so many, just take Arsenal, for example. They're competing in the Premier League. They're competing for the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup. They're competing for either Europa League or Champions League as well. So that's 5 competitions, right? And the main thing that I can't get out of my head is that footballing clubs in this day and age, it almost seems like they don't know how to run themselves. You know, you've got Manchester United, who are guilty of running their club too much as a business. You've got Liverpool, and that was the most shocking one. Liverpool, you know, you never walk alone. This idea that they're for their fans, they're for the people. You've got Barcelona, más que un club, so like more than a club. And it just, I don't know, this entire Super League competition, and then even the announcement of the new Champions League competition, where 4 more teams are going to be added. There's going to be way more games, and then there's this even historical coefficient thing that people are kind of looking over in the new Champions League format. There's going to be this algorithm that favors teams that have historically played well. So, for example, if there's a team that usually qualifies, that's usually expected to be in it, like a Barcelona or Real Madrid, but they have like an off season and finish maybe 4th or 5th in their league. There's this now, there's 3 or 4 spots for historically really good teams to just automatically come in Champions League based on a historical UEFA coefficient. So that's kind of weird. It's gonna take away the passion and the novelty. I don't even know if that's the right word, but imagine if the World Cup happened every year. Imagine if the World Cup was every 2 years. It wouldn't be near as impactful, right? The fact that the World Cup is such a rare event that it's every 4 years makes it such a special competition, and that's why Champions League. And I'm not defending Champions League or Europa League. Those competitions have their own flaw, and don't get it twisted. Those competitions are very much about making money for the clubs as well. That's what's incredible about a Champions League night. Take Liverpool, for example. How important the Champions League is to the history of Liverpool, and now they've joined this freaking Super League. And there's this whole other conversation happening where basically UEFA and the governing bodies are saying any team that has players that participate in the Super League can now not play for their national team, can now not compete in the World Cup, can now not compete in the Euros. They're now saying that they're going to be booted from Champions League. There's even a discussion that as soon as this Friday, again, these are, a lot of this stuff is just stuff that's floating around right now. It's not 100% confirmed, but that as of this Friday, some of the teams that are participating in Super League will be already kicked out of Champions League and Europa League. So hypothetically, right, Manchester City and Chelsea could be kicked out of the Champions League come this Friday. And That's not good for anyone. And really, what this comes down to is the person that it hurts the most. The clubs will be making a few hundred more million a year. And sure, that's a lot of money for some of these clubs, right? For an Arsenal, who are currently, 8th or 10th on the Premier League table, who aren't even qualified for Europa League or Champions League. And then suddenly they can go, and listen, Arsenal are one of my favorite clubs in the Prem. Arsene Wenger is one of my favorite managers, and interestingly enough, he had very interesting words to say about predicting all of what's going on right now. But they're like 8th or 9th on the table, and they're going to get Champions League. Spurs, for example, they're Super League, sorry. Spurs are going to get Super League. And the craziest part is the non-competitive aspect of Super League. Get this. 20 teams the goal is to have 20 teams. 15 can't ever get relegated. And they're guaranteed, and and they're saying yes because it's going to guarantee them a few hundred million more a year. Which, my biggest problem with this whole thing is that clubs don't know how to run themselves. Barcelona, Real Madrid, they're getting new stadiums, but they're still operating in the red. They're still in a tremendous amount of debt. This is not going to change anything. This Super League competition, even though it's going to inject a couple hundred million more into these clubs' pockets every year, is not going to change the fact that they're run abysmally. And every club in Europe is basically operating in the red. The fact that most clubs in Europe, have 5 competitions pretty much to compete in should be enough. If it is the world's game, right? So if we're talking about money, of course, because it's so popular, money is obviously a huge component. You got to pay the salaries of the players. You got to pay venues and just all the expenses that come with running a football club. But if Barcelona can do Champions League, La Liga, draw the crowds that they do, the money that they generate from their existing fans, who every club that's participating in the European Super League right now are betraying their fans, and they're basically saying, we're not running the clubs well enough, so we're going to come up with some excuse so that we can line our pockets with a couple hundred million more a season. And that's the main thing. That's the main problem I have with it. It's just a slap in the face of the fans. And I do have to applaud the Bundesliga, right? Obviously, you guys know that I'm a little bit biased with that. I support Bayern. I love the Bundesliga. The Bundesliga have this rule where 51% of the clubs in the Bundesliga, 51% of every club is owned by the fans, which is one of the main reasons that they're not joining this Super League, right? Bayern came out and said they're not joining it. Dortmund came out and said that they're not joining it. Every Bundesliga club came out pretty much in solidarity and said they're not joining it. I got to give massive shout outs to Lucas Podolski for saying that he doesn't support it. Mesut Ozil coming out and saying he doesn't support it. Bastian Schweinsteiger saying if the Super League will be realized, it will destroy football with its national leagues as we know it, and this is a very sad thought to me. Coming out with a very personal statement. Bruno Fernandes, a player who plays for one of these clubs, Manchester United, who's agreed to go to the Super League, says dreams can't be buy. And the beautiful thing about this, that this came from him. This wasn't a social media manager because this is actually a mistype, right? It's meant to be saying dreams can't be bought. Dreams can't be buy, right? I think that's kind of like the rallying cry. I didn't think in 2021 we were going to say dreams can't be buy, but that right there resonates with me. And I think that's Podence saying, right? The ball, the Champions League ball, the song, the champions. And the dream of winning on a European night. Think about Liverpool and Turkey, with Steven Gerrard and that whole saga. I just think it's just so sus. And they're using the pandemic as an excuse. They're not the only clubs that are going through it. Aston Villa, mid-table leagues across Europe are all dealing with the effects of the pandemic, right? So now what the big clubs are doing is they're saying, hey, you want to know what? Screw everyone else in the league. We're going to create our own little league. And we're lucky to have been invited to it. And of course, we're going to say yes because it's going to give us a few hundred million more a year. What about the players too? Like the players, it doesn't seem that the players were consulted at all. Bruno Fernandes is one of the first players to come out that actually is playing for one of the Super League teams to say anything. But it doesn't seem like the Premier League players, it doesn't seem like the players have been consulted at all about this move. Freaking Jose Mourinho was sacked this morning. I totally forgot to mention that. Jose Mourinho was sacked this morning. They're saying it doesn't have anything to do with Super League, but I'm actually I'm skeptical about that. I feel like maybe it had something exactly to do with that, because I feel like it would be in line with Jose Mourinho to not want to be involved in something like that. And I don't know. I think there's probably going to be situations where maybe some players leave. Imagine maybe this is Ronaldo's last World Cup. Maybe this is Messi's last World Cup. Maybe Ronaldo's last Euro. Do you want to be the person at Juventus to tell him that he's not going to be able to compete? I personally think, if you want my honest opinion, I think the lawyers for the Super League have done enough research and know that UEFA probably are bluffing, that they can't do anything really. I know they're the governing body, but I think it would be kind of naive to think that the Super League lawyers didn't do enough research already that they know that they're probably in the clear, right? Or maybe they're not. Who knows? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Jesse Lingard is going to be the best player that suits up for England at the Euros this year. But I don't know. I just wanted to put a brief little video, I should say, 17 minutes. I just wanted to put a little video together for you guys. Now, I think let's end with, in my opinion, one of my favorite managers, one of my favorite philosophers, really, of all time, Arsene Wenger. He says, maybe in 10 years you will have a European League. This was in 2009. Maybe in 10 years you will have a European League. The money that will be coming in from Champions League will not be enough for some clubs. Now, not be enough for some clubs. Obviously, with the pandemic, clubs are struggling. But again, don't let that distract you from the fact that every other club is struggling as well. The 20th place team is struggling just as much as Manchester City is. And Manchester City can survive it. Some of these lower tier, mid-table clubs are having a much tougher time to deal with the pandemic and in terms of the financial losses. And now this just makes it all the worse. It just, I don't know, man. It's a sad day for football, man. And I really hope that good prevails here. I really hope that greed gets squashed, and I really hope that the game that we love doesn't fall by the wayside here, because I think this is a defining moment. Again, there's a lot of moving pieces here. Have no idea what's going to happen, but I think this is a defining moment in world football, where I think the world can come together and just we got to come up with. I don't know what the solution is. I don't know what the answer is. I mean, even the new Champions League format. I mean, I don't know, man. It looks like it's going to be a lot more games. You know, again, in December. I mean, how much between international play and all the competitions that clubs are doing already, players are already overextended. You're going to have them play more games now? I just don't think it's fair on everyone. And most importantly, it's the fans. The fans are the ones that are suffering the most. So, I don't know. Greed. That's the only word, and that's the only answer for why they're doing this. And it just doesn't sit well with me, boys. But maybe you guys let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Again, really proud of the Bundesliga for kind of standing up and not joining this. Porto also stood up. There's a bunch of other leagues as well that have come out in support of come out against the Super League. Keep it simple. Have the National League, have the Europa League, and then have the Champions League. That's historically what it's been. Sure, they're not perfect, but it's the best that we have right now. This Super League thing is just highlights the greed aspect of it. Let's reform the whole thing. Let's come to some sort of agreement where it's good for everyone. But let's not forget about the fact that this sport is for the people. Sure, there's money to be made, and that's okay to make money off of a sport, but this is excessive. This is greed in its ugliest form. But yeah, boys. Again, wanted to make a FIFA video today, but I feel like I couldn't ignore this one. This was just something that I was feeling very, very passionate about, and hope you guys enjoyed. I felt like I've just been rambling on for the past 20 minutes, but yeah, let's see what happens, boys. Merseyside Red are going to be playing Leeds United tonight. This should definitely be interesting. But anyway, I'll catch you guys for a stream later tonight, and hopefully we get some more. Hopefully get some good content on FIFA tomorrow before Team of the Season. EFL and Premier League, I believe, are announced as the first ones. But anyway, boys, I'll catch you guys for another upload tomorrow. Till next time. But anyway, boys, I'll catch you guys for another upload tomorrow. Hit that subscribe button down below if you guys are new to the channel. Till next time, bros. Tschüss. Later. Ade.